Okay, video number 3. We're going to start with 24. We're going to go to 43, and this is over quadrilaterals. So we have to classify with the most specific name. Okay, so when I look at this and I see these 4 right angles, I see these 2 sides are congruent, these 2 sides are congruent, these 4 right angles got a rectangle here. It cannot be a square because the top and bottom are not the same as the left and right. Okay, here I have 2 pairs of parallel lines. That is a parallelogram. I do not know anything else about it, so I can't say if it's anything else. Here I have the 4 right angles, but now I notice that all 4 sides are the same, so this one would be a square. If it had 4 sides that were the same, but the angles were not right angles, it would be a rhombus. Okay, so here I see I have 2 congruent sides. I have 1 pair of parallel lines, and then the base angles are the same, and then the consecutive interior angles are supplementary. So this is an isosceles trapezoid. This one here, I see that I have 1 pair of parallel sides. I don't know anything else about angles or sides. All I can say is that this is a trapezoid. And this one here, this side and this side are congruent, and they are parallel. Okay, these are automatically parallel lines, parallelogram. All right, so that would be a parallelogram. And moving on to number 30, it says that this is a rhombus. So your diagonals are perpendicular and they are not congruent. These angles here are congruent. So x is 24 degrees. This is a rectangle. It says to find x. In a rectangle, the diagonals are going to bisect each other. They're not perpendicular, but they are congruent. So here x is 16, and then this says to find angle J. So this is 72, this would be 72, these would be 180. So if I do 180 minus 72, I'm going to get angle J, and that will leave me that the measure of angle J is 108. All right, find the value of the variable given so that each quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Okay, well, if this is 112, this one has to be 112 because opposite angles are congruent, and the consecutive interior angles, so like these 2 here or these 2 here, they have to add up to 180. So 180 minus the 112, that would be 68 degrees, so that's what y is. And then if this is 7, then b is 7. If this is 12, a is 12. All right, in this one here, let's see. If it is a parallelogram, they bisect each other. So this is 10 and a is 10. The opposite sides are congruent, so if this is 10, this is also 10. If it's a parallelogram, then I have congruent or parallel sides. So that makes these 2 angles alternate interior. Okay, so these are parallel lines, those are alternate interior. So I know that x is 62 degrees, and then If this is 33, so is this one because those are vertical angles. All right. Moving on to 35. Okay, EFGH is a square. So I'm going to go like this automatically. I'm going to mark my right angles automatically. I know that the diagonals bisect. They're perpendicular. And they are congruent. All right, these are all my characteristics. And then top and bottom, left and right, those are parallel to each other. So if the measure of GEF, so here's G, and then here's E, and here's F. So we're talking about this angle right here. If that is x plus 13, find the measure of, well, you have to find x, that's the first one. Then find the measure of FZE. Okay. Well, first of all, FZE is that middle angle there. That is automatically 90 degrees because those diagonals are perpendicular. So I don't have to do any work for that one. And then, let's see. If this is 90 and these are the same, these would be both 90 degrees here. So this one is actually equal to 45 degrees. Okay, so that's, and it's half of that. So x plus 13 is equal to 45. And when you solve, you get 32 for x. Okay, because the diagonals also bisect those corners. So half of that 90 is 45. This is a parallelogram. Okay, so this and this are going to be congruent. So I'm going to find x. And then I know that EF is y plus 34, GH is 2y minus 7, and those have to be congruent. So y plus 34 equals 2y minus 7. I can add 7. So y plus 41. And then if I take away y here and take away y here, I just have 1y. So y is 41. And then as far as my okay, so for this one here, we found y is 41. Now we just got to find these. Opposite angles are congruent, so x plus 32 equals 4x minus 16. And then when we do all that math, subtracting our x's, adding 16. Okay, so 3x is equal to 48, so x is equal to 16. All right, so this one here, these would be congruent. So 3x is equal to 45, which means x would be equal to 15 because these are alternate interior angles. And then this side and this side would be congruent. So 7y equals 4y plus 21. So 3y is equal to 21. So y is equal to 7. Okay, find the measure of the numbered angles. All right, well, first of all, this is a 50. So this is 50, this is 50, this is 50. Okay, and then this is going to be 40. This will be 40. Okay, so these would be 40 also. All right, and now we got to find this one. Well, if these are the same, 180 take away 100 would give me this. So angle 1 is 180 minus the 100. So that would be 80. So angle 1 is 80 degrees, which means if this is 80, this has to be 100. Okay, and we know that angle 3 and angle 4 are both 40. Find WV in trapezoid PQRS. Okay, so this here, that middle one is the top plus the bottom divided by 2. So when we do that, VW will equal 9.2. You literally can just type that in. It says that QR is 4 and UT is 16, so find VS. We're going to do the same thing we did over here. So 4 plus 16 over 2, that means that VS is going to be equal to 10. All right, if the slopes of PQ and RS are both 1/3, and the slopes of QR and PS are both -3, then PQRS is a rectangle. Well, let's draw this out. Okay, so PQRS. PQ has a slope of 1/3, and RS has a slope of 1/3. PS and QR both have a -3. Okay, so for this to be a rectangle, you have to have 90-degree angles here. And we don't need to worry about the sides but for right now, but these two are opposite reciprocals. A positive 1/3 and a -3 would give me a -1. That means that they're perpendicular. Okay, so that will be true. ABCD is a trapezoid with the legs A, B, and CD. All right, let's go ahead and just draw that. So we have A, B, that's a leg, C, D, that's a leg. AB has a slope of 4, BC has a slope of 1/7. State the slope of AD. Okay, so okay, sorry about that interruption. So back to this. AB has a slope of 4, BC has a slope of 1/7. These are the legs, which means this is the bottom, this is the top. Those would be parallel. So AD would have to have a slope of 1/7 as well, because these would have to have the same slope. All right, next one. ABCD is a rectangle. Okay, so A, B, C, D. The legs AB and CD. AB has a slope of 1/7. All right, so that means this has a slope of 1/7. Now, because it's a rectangle, you have to have perpendicular slopes for your sides, your adjacent sides. So this would have to be a positive 7/1 in order to create that 90-degree angle. So the slope has to be -7. Okay, so this is the end of this section, and I will get this posted onto Schoology. We have one more section, and that will be number 44 all the way to the end.